Well, how you doing, Gideon's Tactical crew? It is summertime, and that means it's time to get outdoors. And oh look, I'm right back here with Mrs. GT. She's gonna be helping me shoot the camera. You know, this is a one-man show with family and friends that help make it all possible. And in today's video, we're talking about a toiletry bag, a DOPP kit that functions and operates potentially as an ideal 2-in-1 med kit and survival kit. A few months back, on a whim, I'm surfing Amazon and I came across this Fit Dom tactical toiletry bag. And it looked like it had some really unique features. And I said to myself, this might be perfect for this summer to build out a med kit and a survival kit in one that I can just throw in my day packs when I go on day trips, but also in my multi-day backpack when I take, say, my boys, which we just finished up last week, our father and son annual backpacking trip, to carry all of the essentials if an emergency situation arises, but also just a few conveniences as well to make the whole experience just more enjoyable. And so we're gonna do a complete rundown of the gear and supplies that are inside my survival kit, hopefully giving you guys some tips, ideas, showing you tried and true favorites, and a few new additions, just making the experience that much more streamlined. So we're gonna have some fun. For all you outdoor gearheads, I'm gonna hand the camera off to Mrs. GT and we're gonna have some fun. So let's begin with the exterior. On either side, they're gonna give you a few slits of kind of molly that you could attach other gear items to. You could do, if you wanted that, a cat tourniquet on the exterior. I don't usually carry it that way, but if that's something that you want, just to kind of give you options. And then you have nice pull zippers right here with a pull tab. You could, you know, spray paint this or put a little piece of red tape on there if you wanted to make this into a boo-boo kit on the exterior of the bag. So some medications, like a triangular bandage, band-aids, some ointments, you know, hydrogen peroxide, that type of stuff could fit in there. If you want a fully dedicated med kit, that would have to be on the inside, and then you're gonna have to do a bunch of other possibly shifting, and maybe some items that I have, you would have to opt out of not having, if that makes sense. So on the exterior, I'll just run in the dimensions down below just so you have an idea. Really heavy duty. I've had it for a few months now and I'm not seeing like any sort of tearing, ripping. It's really good nylon. On the back end here, it comes with this polymer carabiner, so it's lightweight but gives you attachments portions with a big elastic band so you could attach other things to. And it does come with 550 paracord right here as a grab handle with 2 emergency whistles. So that's a nice little feature, and you can even wrist, there we go, without pinching my arm here, hopefully. And that will just fit my wrist right there. So cool kind of little feature. Now, as we get into this compartment, this is ultra cool. One of the zipper pockets fillets open like this. Check it out. This I'm super stoked about. I can get a Mora companion. Boom, right in there, has an extra elastic band, sleeve right there, a Baco Laplander or similar sized folding saw, and a Worksharp mini, if I can fight it, there we go, mini sharpener right there, which is what I found all I really need on a multi-day trip. You know, that seems to be enough to hone my different tools that I have. This compartment right there, because of its size, is one of the features that right away stood out to me. I have yet to really be able to do, you know, compact survival kit that can fit those tools in there. Then we have a secondary zipper, and these are SBS, you know, so a name brand zipper. They run good, they haven't snagged. This is another feature that's really cool. We have a clear water resistant pocket, so I can put my fire kit and my electronics in here, and me short of like falling into a lake and submerging this bag, if it rains, if it drizzles, you know, whatever, I leave it out overnight by accident, it's not gonna cause any problems for those materials. And so what I have here is just a little mesh pack for all of my fire starting items. Got different types of fire steels in there, several different types of tinder. Always good to have multiple types of tinder. You never know what you're gonna run into. Military grade, you know, just fun kind of backpacking grade. And then a Bic lighter. Always got to have some Gorilla Tape wrapped around my Bic lighters. And then that's an Uber Laban paraffin wick, which is fantastic for starting fires. And then a bellows, you blow through that and it can flare it up. But that's in a high vis container, and then again, it's going to be inside a water-resistant pocket that I've just never seen before, and is a really cool extra feature, maybe for those of you who raft, kayak, canoe, and you maybe travel in those, you know, on waterways. Very, very cool, and potentially an ideal option. Then I have swapped to some Nightcore items recently to lighten my illumination. But before we get into that, we all know the importance of having the right apparel on our adventures, and what better material for our apparel than wool. And that's where today's sponsor comes into play, which is Huckberry and their Proof series of 72-hour merino wool clothing. Now, I just happened to be on a 72-hour backpacking trip with my sons and my buddy and his son, father-son time, having a blast. And I've been using these pieces of apparel for over a year now, including the sun hoodie. This thing is amazing, breathable, great, even when the sun's blasting down on you at the lake and you're fishing, covering up those more exposed parts, but also helping you stay warm at night as your base layer. And the best part is these are not, you know, like 10% wool just so that they can say that. I mean, these are sourced from New Zealand and Australia, and these are over 80% wool blend. I mean, that is epic. So they work, they keep the heat in when you need to, and they breathe when they're supposed to. And then finally, to top it all off, their 72-hour wool blend pants. These come in at about 47% wool. Never had a wool pair of pants before. These Proof pants are epic for bushwhacking like that. Very flexible, but more durable than that just sticky, unbreathable nylon, you know, or polyester that we often get in most of, you know, the hiking, trekking apparel that's out there. This just takes it to such a better level that I'm convinced in wool blend trekking pants now. So guys, there's so much to choose from. I'm gonna have a link popping up over to the Huckberry site as well as in the description box below, along with my exclusive 10% off promo code you can apply towards your first purchase. I invite you to check them out, explore all the different types of apparel and what might make sense for you on all of your adventures. And so far they've been working great on this past backpacking trip. The first is an NB Air Nightcore 5000 milliamp battery pack. This thing is perfect. You can see there, it lights up, uses a USB-C cable, and you attach that with my little dongler. If I can find it in here, I'll just pour it all out. There we go. Dongle, so that can do iPhones, USB-C, all that stuff. Fits in there easily. Can keep my phone going or give my GoPros and action cams a little bit extra. This pouch is what came with Nightcore's N series of headlamps. I'm testing these out. They have integrated batteries, so they're not replaceable, but so far they cut down on weight and space, and they've really been working well with red light, white light, lots of features and capabilities, and then we're going to be doing a whole breakdown on that. But this bag acts as like a diffuser, so you can put it in your tent, you know, and really enjoy some more diffused light if you want to, or around the campsite. And then as a backup, especially because I'm swapping to an integrated potentially headlamp, I'm using a Rovivon E7 flashlight. This flashlight's super sweet because it has a battery that's integrated, but it can run off of one AAA. So if it dies, I can throw one AAA in there and it'll keep running. And this has tons of different options. And it's just very lightweight, and just carry a spare little charging port there. And that battery bank can charge all of these headlamps. And so those all stay together and then live inside, again, that little plastic compartment. So that's my illumination. Leave a comment what you guys think about these Nightcores, especially. I'm testing them out for the summer, and we're gonna be doing a video here in probably a month after some more trips and more experiences with them. But yeah, how have they been surviving, maybe working for you long term? Now let's get into the main compartment, which can fit a huge amount of gear. Man, check out how big that main compartment is. It's allowing me to carry a few items that I've either had to carry in other pockets instead of just a one-stop shop, which I appreciate. Like the Platypus water filter. Now I gravitate more to Grails or my Nano filter from Hardside that they came out with, but this is a great compact alternative when you don't have that space or you want a backup. And then let's talk multi-tools, okay? I have just about every Leatherman known to man, and in this kit, though it is super heavy, and you could obviously cut weight if you want to, you know, have a lighter tool would be the Leatherman Surge. I've been using this for about a year now, and it's big and bulky, but I get a bit kit with it. I get saws as well as files and enough different attachments to have a few extra features. And the two main reasons why I like this one the most is that because of the huge scissors, and as I have become more of a fisherman, having quick access massive scissors is really important, and a backup for medical situations. You get obviously a massive serrated blade, main blade right there. I did do an aftermarket pocket clip, and I can't remember if I've said it already, but I will try to have a link to my Amazon store and my other affiliate links for all the items that we're unpacking and taking a look at today. But one of the main attributes is the removable saw that you can then put the file on or take off. And what that allows you to do is, in a pinch, you have a removable file to hone and resharpen the blade of the knife, fishing hooks, and you name it, versus every other Leatherman currently, it's attached, so you can't resharpen the blade you have. This allows me to hone the blade when necessary, and then it just goes right back in the pocket, or I can even just carry it on the tool itself when necessary. So it's kind of a luxury item. You can go with a lighter tool, but it's the most functional, in my mind, of Leatherman's tools for the outdoors. But let me know what your favorite multi-tool, and whether it's plier-less, like Swiss Army knives, or pliered, like Leatherman tools, that you carry in your survival kits. I'd love to know. So here's a big upgrade that this DOPP kit allows for, is an SOL emergency bivy, not just an emergency blanket. This is going to be much more functional. It acts as a sleeping bag, has an emergency whistle on it, and just gives a lot more versatility than just a standard run-of-the-mill lightweight, what's the word I'm looking for, emergency blanket would do. Along with that, I have started carrying a mosquito head tent or net. We just keep running into mosquitoes off and on, and this has become very important, and just makes hanging around camp that much easier. Or if you had to work with it and they're just in your face, just a lot easier to live with heavy, thick mosquitoes. And it's very lightweight, so having a mosquito net, I think, is an added bonus, and it can stuff inside that bivy pouch. Now, these items allow for, or excuse me, the pocket size allows for these larger, bulkier items like the water purifier, like the full-size Leatherman, and like this bivy and mosquito net, that really compact pocket-sized survival kits that I've built out in the past don't allow for. So it's obviously more weight, more bulk, but the trade-off is not only some luxuries like the mosquito net, but also added versatility of a bivy over just emergency blankets and bigger multi-tools for more capability. So that's something you're gonna have to weigh when you're thinking of your day packs or your multi-day backpacks, hunting packs, you know, when you're doing hunting, that type of stuff. Does something of this size but fully integrated make sense, or is it just too big and bulky? Now, before we leave the main compartment, there is one other mesh pocket just for some more added organization. And in there, I've got some bank line. I've started doing this more than paracord. I just seem to use it more, and it cuts down on weight. So that's a more functional option for me. Another Night Eyes gear tie, so functional. You gotta have some sort of bandana, and I always go high vis for my bandanas, you know, in case of emergency situation. High vis rain poncho, a buck, but lightweight, and keeps the rain off and keeps you from getting cold potentially. Then a couple different ways to tape, including Gear Aid, great for nylon backpacks and, you know, rain jackets, that type of stuff. And then a card with some duct tape on it. And then we do have some portable aqua tablets that, again, helps with this bag. So even if you don't want to do the filter, just get yourself a durable bag. You can drop these in and throw it in the dirty water, and then you have drinking water. And then my 3-in-1 emergency whistle, micro, mirror, tape that up so it doesn't get scratched. So I just put some masking tape on there. And then finally, a decent compass just to make sure you know where you're going. Appreciate Mrs. GT running this camera for us. Makes it a lot more engaging, I think. Leave a comment and shout out to Mrs. GT if you appreciate what she's doing. Now, on the opposite exterior, I have a few other kind of essentials, including mini hand sanitizer, and that can work as an accelerant in an emergency situation for fire as well. Enough butt wipes that I could take a dump or two if needed. clean my hands, do whatever I needed, and then a few mosquito wipes. I just found that these work a little bit better for compact situations than the sprays if you needed to use them in a pinch. So guys, there's the quick rundown of this integrated 2-in-1 med kit and potentially survival kit toiletry bag, or you could just use a toiletry bag, EDC kit. I mean, multitude of different things. I think the build quality seems to be there, and especially the layout if you're looking to integrate 2 kits and combine them into one, and has some unique size dimensions and features that I've never really seen before in the survival kit bag space. And adding some of these new items, and I look forward to hearing from you guys your experience with some of these new adaptations, especially like the night core and things like that you've seen. I appreciate you guys hanging with me today. I hope it's been fun and just give you guys better food for thought for certain items and pieces of gear and equipment that you may want to build out in your own survival kits. So until next time, I invite you to check out the other videos, subscribe, and always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.